So, you've made it this far, clone. I have to hand it to you. I never thought you would. Why'd you do it, O Conqueror? Do what? Bomb Ganyma. Why did the original Idaho not? The survivalists were a threat to the Empire. We were ordered to eliminate them, so when Elias didn't, I did. That's all there is to it. All they wanted was to be free of the Omnis and live on their own. Was that really such a crime? In our Empire, yes. You know, maybe he was a survivalist himself. That would explain why he disobeyed Oberon. He wasn't a survivalist. How do you know? You don't have his memories, at least not all of them. In his final days, I didn't know who he was either, and I was his best friend. But I've talked to you long enough. It's time to destroy this ship of yours. Take your machine, find Gehenna, and end this freak show once and for all. Go on then. But you'll have to do it. You, not one of your men and women. You'll have to see to it yourself. I doubt you can. Clone, I'll show you exactly what I can do. Battle was imminent. Good luck, Admiral. What are we looking at? Battleship shielding. So that means our hull breaker won't be as useful. Proximity repair. Extra squadron speed. Extra squadron DPS. They're launching 2 patched Mk3 drones, a normal Mk3 frigate, and another drone, so we want fighters out here. They have a repair bot injector and a Piercer Mk2. They have no auxiliary system. Whenever they use their Piercer laser? Oh, or repair bot injector. All other ships around them will also begin to regen. Golden Veil. Every 80 seconds, all enemy units on the battlefield become immune to damage for 10 seconds. Wow, that's very strong. So we are going to be losing things. And there's nothing I can do about it. Like, losing things. We're going to be losing squadrons. And I can't do anything about it either. Unless we somehow kill all the units, this activates, and there's no enemy units on the field at the time. So that's what we'll have to hope for. Alright, so our drone prototype comes out to help us deal with that frigate of theirs. Both our drones... I'm sorry, both our fighters. And we will take the Juggernaut. Actually, no, we'll take the longbow. Okay. Let's start. Look at all those drones they have. Oh, you're kidding me. We're gonna lose my cruiser right away. Wow, we lost these fighters instantly. These two drone squadrons just decimated them. Our squadron needs to come back. It's only 9 seconds until they have more again. Wow. They're working our hole, but so far we're doing okay. I'm going to rely on... Actually, I kind of need those asteroids. Frigates. Drones. Drones. Uh-oh. I don't like this. And more frigates. Our fighters need to come back. Actually, our fighters need to attack and get rid of those shields. Stop. You have to come back. You have to come back. Our cruiser needs to be safe. We'll put you over there. Wow, look how fast they all are. My goodness. Can we win in a straight-up slugfest against them? Maybe. We're gonna lose all these squads here, unfortunately. I think. Yeah, just lost one of our assists. My goodness, they do so much damage. Oh, we have fire. We have fire. What happens to us? Officers cannot use their ability, and critical repair takes twice as much time. Oh, they have the golden shield in effect now for 10 seconds. Well, that sucks. There's nothing I can do about that. Oh, it includes their own system as their hull as well. Interesting. That's really annoying. I have to wait until the hull is gone before I'm able to actually use my weapon against them. I think we're basically kind of racing to destroy them now, but I don't think we can win that fight if it comes down to it. Why is your movement locked? Oh, is it because of this? Why is my movement locked? Why is the movement locked? Those are drones, Tim, coming your way. I don't think we can do this. I don't think we can do this. I don't think I have the DPS able to handle this. Our ships are too slow to make it to them. Our cannon's ready at least. We're gonna have to do this with all patched units. Well, that was very nice. Faster, please. Please move faster. Please move faster. Oh, right. Our officer is pinned at the moment. So he won't be able to, we're not benefiting from the extra speed. Here, 14 seconds until the golden thing occurs as well. "12 seconds. Tim, you need to kill all of their squadrons. Now. Darn it! Just barely couldn't do it. Okay. Let's try pulling you guys back if we can. don't care if this hits or not. I need to distract them. And hopefully that will do it. So fast. Those drones are so fast. Oh, that was a giant mistake. Nope, we did not want that to happen. All we have to do is get this there. That's all we need to do. I need to delay as long as possible for that to happen. Down here, get those fight. Oh, these are my fighters. Back you go. The hull breaker can't be used. Well, it can be used, but everything is shielded, so it's not going to do much. We're all in. We just have to charge. Woo! Finish me, clone! What are you waiting for? Where is she, Okonkwo? What happened to Rebecca? She is on Lazarus 9. Lazarus 9. An Imperial cryoplanet in the Terminus cluster. Oberon cryoed her as part of Elias's punishment. But what did she do? She married the original you. That was her crime. And does she still live? I do not know. The folders. Without the machine, I cannot visit her. You loved her, didn't you? Yes, ever since we were kids. And I thought for a time that she loved me too. She was unhappy. Ellis was never there for her when she needed him, yet she continued to love him through it all. Did he not think refusing his orders might hurt her? How could he be so selfish? I do not know what he was thinking. That was why I wanted to kill you, clone. For what Idaho did to her. It was never anything personal. Finish me, clone. Where is the old man? You'll find him soon enough. He waits for you and the machine in his palace on Elysium. All day, every day, he sits on his throne, awaiting for the Progenitor Admiral to return. But you won't recognize him when you get there. So much has he changed. What are you talking about? He is dying. Impossible. He has immortality tech. He refuses to use it. Some sort of self-inflicted punishment. Oberon's become pathetic, useless. I'm on my own now. I'm the Emperor, and I feel so incapable of the task. So it's true. Oberon never ordered my death, did he? Oberon ordered your death, clone. He ordered me to escort you safely back to the palace if I ever found you. He told me all about Gehenna and Project Perkles. Project Perkles. That's what he called this carnival of yours. I was told the future of humankind depended on it, depended on you. He did always prefer Idaho, no matter what I did. Even after he executed the original, he still loved him more than me. But not even his clone can fix this. You're too late. We're beyond all hope now. The end is almost here. Finish me, clone. It was you who shut down the Omnis, wasn't it? You were angry that Oberon still preferred Idaho after his execution, and you vowed to make him pay. No! Though I lived all those years in Idaho's shadow, decades, I would never do anything to cause so much suffering. You forget. But Lazarus 9 is run by Omnis too. Unlike Idaho, I would never have done anything to endanger Rebecca. Where's the Master Node Terminal, Okonkwo? You think I know where it is? Oberon never trusted me enough to tell me that. I'm not sure he trusted anyone that much. Who do you think reached it? I don't know, clone. We had many enemies, many people who wanted to see House Talos crumble. You have many questions still. What do you know about Earth? I hear about this planet wherever I go. A lost planet. Those are just myths, clone. Nothing more than bedtime stories. You and Idaho were friends, weren't you? Tell me. Friends? No, we were more than that. We were brothers. We met at the academy almost 50 years ago now. We were just kids, bursting with pride and love for the Empire. We bonded over that, and because we were different from the rest, more stubborn, we were going to protect the Empire, side by side, for the rest of our days. That was the pact we made, and we did just that for many years. But then, one day, Elias changed. How? He was fighting something. I didn't see it for what it was. Now I know. He was doubting everything. Everything that made him him. But why didn't he confide in me and tell me his troubles? I could have helped him. Maybe he felt that you wouldn't understand. Couldn't understand. I don't know. But it's not too late. You and he, we can still fight together. We can save what's left. You're wrong. It is too late. This ship is seconds away from obliteration. I'm going to die, and I can't be reborn. Nor do I want to be. I changed, clone. Changed a long time ago. Something happened to me these last 20 years. Day by day, I became someone else. I look in the mirror, and I no longer recognize the man there. There are things I've done, out of power, out of hopelessness and fear. Save what remains if you can, clone, and promise me something. Even if it's possible, think twice about unfreezing her. This galaxy, I'm not sure anyone should wake to this. I promise that I will. We've reached Elysium, Admiral. It is time. You heard what Okonkwo said. Oberon sits on his throne, waiting for us. Then let's not keep him waiting a moment longer. And remember what I said, Admiral. If you try anything, I'll have to protect him. I'll keep that in mind, Machine.
eyes deceive me. In Idaho and the Caliban and my broken palace. Say something, so I know you're real.
You killed me, old man, and froze Rebecca, here, where I stand. Now, I'll have my revenge. Oh, we have a pistol in our hand as well, I see.
Your hatred for me burns hotter than the sun's. But you are mistaken, clone. I didn't kill you. I killed Idaho. You two are not the same. At least, not yet. But I see that you have at least one of his memories. The worst one there is. Your inhibitor is flawed. Now I know why it took you decades to find me.
Enough! I will not listen to you anymore, Emperor. The time has come to end you.
I've warned you, Admiral.
It's fine, Caliban. You can relax.
The truth is, I've grown so tired. I've failed the Empire, and each moment is a reminder of that. Yes, let the clone kill me if he wants, but only after we talk. He has many questions. Besides, maybe he even wants to become the original, and I am the only one who can make that happen. Now, what is it you wish to know, clone?
Why? Why did you erase an entire planet?
You murdered the survivalists. You murdered millions. I did what I did for the Empire. I always have.
For the Empire? For your power? Your glory?
That planet had a sickness. A nasty little ideology that would have spread to other sectors and clusters unless I cut it out. So, I cut it out. You've seen the horrors of an empire without omnis. That is what the survivalists wanted.
But that is no reason to wipe them out of existence.
Many more lives would have been lost had I not killed them. Don't you see that? We can't live without them. We no longer know how. We haven't known for hundreds of years.
You think that way, but it's not human. You think I'm a monster.
But you have also killed to protect your crew dozens, if not hundreds of times. You would not have gotten this far had you not. You and I. It's what we do, clone. We kill out of duty. That's why I took out that planet. And I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Tell me more about Gehenna and Project Perculus.
I worked on designing that planet for 300 years, clone. Creating giant builder omnis for its construction. You see, all of this had to be done outside the fold net. None of our enemies could know what I was doing, nor the machines. When I was done, I sent the builders to Gehenna secretively. To anyone else, they would have appeared to be nothing more than drift metal floating aimlessly by. When they were done with Gehenna's construction, they built the first Calibans. Then, the builders melted, as they were programmed to do, their metal seeping into the barren dirt of that forsaken planet. And of course, when Gehenna stopped receiving a signal from Elysium, a Caliban awoke you, as they had been programmed to, thinking that the Omnis had rebelled against us. But how could one battleship be enough to ever defeat the Omnis? I don't understand. That's because you never found the rebelling Omnis. Had you, you would have activated the second phase of Project Perculus. Simultaneous production of battleships and crews, hundreds if needed, all commanded and run by clones. The NS Odysseus was simply the reconnaissance ship. Why did you choose the original Idaho for the project? Why not someone else who was loyal to you? The original had been selected from birth. No, before birth. I created him just like I created the first advanced machines. For 3 centuries, I manipulated events, influencing his family's bloodlines. He was bound to enter this world, and one day he did. He wasn't the only one I monitored, but he was by far the most perfect specimen I had ever created. I watched Elias closely, but from afar, all the way until his original graduation from the academy. It was clear and right away that he was preternaturally gifted. His instincts, his intellect, his poise were second to none among his peers. Elias was our ultimate shield against the machines, a weapon fashioned from flesh. But then he changed. He started to doubt the cause and everything he had ever worked for. He doubted me even, the man who made him. I don't know how this happened. It shouldn't have happened. Everything was in its place.
He was his own person, Oberon.
He shouldn't have been. By the time I executed him, plans were far too long to find another candidate for the project. So I took his emotional memories. He was still the best without them. But time has proven it was all for nothing. Project Perculus. Time has proven this plan powerless, a failure, a total waste of time and effort. I always knew the Empire would fall apart one day. All empires do. British, Mongol, Roman. All empires crumble. British, Mongol, Roman. Long before your time, clone. Yes, I always suspected my empire would fall. But I never imagined it would happen the way it has. The machines didn't rise up against us, no. They shut down. And they'll never turn on again. Why? Why did you flee? Why did you cryo Rebecca? You have talked to a conqueror, I see. She knew. That was enough. The most famous Imperial Admiral refusing the Emperor's orders. No, I couldn't risk that getting out. You made her watch. That was for his punishment. Executing me wasn't enough. You still think you're him, clone? Interesting. No. His death wasn't anywhere near enough. I was angry. I gave in to that anger. Let it eat me alive. I watched as she watched, and it gave me great pleasure. But the plan was to take that moment from you, hence the inhibitor. You were never supposed to relive it. While I, on the other hand, could relive it as much as I wanted. Your heart is black, and you have blackened it. I made you famous throughout the stars, put your name on the lips of every citizen. And you repay me how? By refusing my orders and putting my empire in danger.
You're forgetting something, old man.
And what is that?
You're not a god. You can't just take my life into your hands and do with it whatever you want.
You're wrong. I am a god. I'm your god. I decided when you would die, and I decided when you'd be born again. I have resurrected you hundreds of times. If that doesn't make me a god, I don't know what would. How could you let us become so weak? So dependent on the Omni? You are our emperor. You are supposed to protect us. Men and women aren't supposed to live 700 years. It's unnatural. One seems too much. I know that now. And in my time, I've learned that humans, by their very nature, are flawed. They are weak, lazy. Give them opportunity to stop thinking, to stop working, and they will. This is how they are. They. You speak like you are not one of us. I've always tried my hardest not to be. Still, that's no excuse for what's happening. You can't blame this on our shortcomings. You could have taken measures. Do not speak to me of measures. Everything I've ever done has been a measure. Let me try to break it down for you. For hundreds of years now, our faith has been intertwined with the machine. There being 3 possible outcomes. 1. We live peacefully with the machine. 2. We use the machine to destroy one another. And 3. The machines come to dominate us, possibly eradicating our very existence. But we could have lived without them. You've forgotten that. No, that was never a possibility. Given our ambition, our greed, our lack of foresight, humankind was always going to research singularity, regardless of its possible consequences. It's always been a matter of when, not if. And in a universe where singularity is inevitable, you'd better be damn sure you're prepared for it. That is what I tried to do. That was the role I gave myself. I created an empire that revolved around the machine, that worshipped the machine. I put in restrictions and rules. I limited how the Omnis could be used, and how many could be used. I limited the potential of the Omni itself. It was important not to give them too much power, too much freedom, or they leave us in the dust. Hence the Rubicon and Masternode. By chance, on your strange dark journey here, did you ask yourself what would have happened had one of the other houses come into power? I'll tell you. We would have been at one another's throats in year 1. We would have all died off hundreds of years ago. So measures. Do not speak to me of measures. I kept the Empire together for nearly 700 years because of measures. Maybe it's not humans who are flawed, Emperor, but your understanding of them. Maybe you never really gave them a chance. You should have empowered humanity, helped it grow, instead of stifling it as you have. The foolish ideals of the young. I wonder if the original Idaho felt the same way in the end. That might explain why he betrayed me as he did. But no, you are wrong. Only one thing kept the Empire and its people together for 700 years. My rule. I have other questions for you, old man. I believe you do, yes. More important questions yet. Who knew of the Masternode's location? Who knew of it? No one, clone. You never told anyone where it was in 700 years. Never. Many have claimed to know where it was, but they were all charlatans or imbeciles, like Dr. Callis. The fact is, I never trusted anyone enough to tell him or her where it was. After what I've been through in 7 centuries, you would understand. We have heard of your masternode terminal, built at the dawn of the Empire, and said to monitor all omnis in the clusters. We believe it played a pivotal role in the shutdown. You have learned much in your travels, clone. Yes, whoever shut down the omnis, whichever enemy of mine it was, somehow reached the masternode and tampered with it. But what most people do not know is that the masternode has a second purpose. In addition to monitoring omnis throughout the clusters, it prevented omnis from communicating with one another. Why were you worried about omnis communicating? Why were you worried about omnis communicating with one another? I feared that if they shared information, they'd become too powerful. Perhaps even find a way to operate outside the confines of the Rubicon. It was another form of control, but my forms of controlling the omnis were not the problem. It was the failure to control the people of my empire. But who? Who reached the masternode? Who shut down the omnis? I do not know, clone. I've been thinking about it for 20 years, and yet I still do not know the answer. Who would have wanted to shut down the omnis? It makes no sense to me. You think the shutdown was intentional? Yes, I have to assume that whomever got past my aegis would have been intelligent. They would not have accidentally shut down the omnis after getting that far. Who did it? Who was capable? Not the Scrappers. Not the Church of Singularity. Not my rival houses, and not the Survivalists. There is no one left. It is you, Emperor. All these years, we wanted to meet you, and now it's finally happening. And what do you think? You're disappointed. I was expecting someone less human. For as much as I tried to be, in the end, that is all I am, machine. Can I ask you a question? Go on. What do we, the Calibans, do when, if all humans die? Whatever you want. You'll be free to make that decision on your own. When I die, you are free, machine. No longer governed by my objectives. I made it so. The Calibans will inherit the universe. And when we run out of neon, we don't have enough on Gehenna to last us forever. When you run out of enough power to your exoflames, there will be nothing left in the clusters. Neither metal nor flesh. The survivalists believed that there exists a planet, once part of the Empire, where the advanced machines never existed. Oh, they're wrong about that. The machines did exist there, I should know. I put them there. Then it's true, it really existed. Earth, it was called. I was born there. It's there I invented the first positronic chip in 2070. 2070? Their calendar year, clone, not ours. What happened? My machines began to make discoveries quickly. Our machines made discoveries. My company, Telos Industries, was producing them. But so were the companies that eventually became House Akibara Sung and Gosh Buendia. The machines were inferior copies of my own. Still, it made them quite wealthy. We were known in those days as the Trimverte. One of the discoveries that those first machines made allowed us to leave Earth and explore the nearest stars. An age of exploration had begun, one which brought us the riches we'd never known. Our businesses grew exponentially, bringing in more money than all the countries on Earth combined. I became the richest man on Earth many times over, and with the success we were having, there was no reason to limit ourselves to just that planet. So on my 101st birthday, I created the Empire. Naturally, I made myself its first emperor. The year was 2145, our year zero. All was fine at first as my empire grew. But soon jealousy and distrust arose back on Earth. A dangerous anti-machine terrorist movement started, just like the survivalists wanted to do away with my creations. There was talk from the leaders of this movement of disbanding from the Empire, of getting rid of our machines, even though most predicted such a move would be disastrous. Despite such talk, I thought they would never go through with it. I never believed it possible. I thought the people of Earth were better than that. I was wrong. One day they destroyed the folder connecting their tiny planet to the Empire, which in turn shuts down the advanced machines on Earth. Or I could have taken military action. I could have them build another folder. I could have made them do anything I wanted. But then I realized something. They weren't worth the trouble. And I'm talking about friends and family, clone. If they could appreciate what I had done, then I wanted nothing more to do with them. I vowed to act like Earth didn't exist, and never existed at all. I made it a crime to speak of Earth in the Empire, and banned all knowledge of its existence. To prevent something like this from happening in the Empire, I made the machines the very fabric of its society. Everything revolved around them. Not just industry, like on Earth, but religion too. I made them gods so that the lower class would worship them, and so that the nobles would desire to buy them. I did all of this, and yet somehow the memory of this planet of blue and green, as faint as it became, never completely disappeared. That's how the survivalists came to adopt their philosophy.
And does it still exist?
No. Without the machines, surely Earth died off hundreds of years ago. There's no way those people could have survived without them.
And you never once wanted to reach out and contact this planet?
No, not once. Earth was dead to me.
What can be done to turn the Omnis back on?
Your crew in Caliban? Nothing. At the rate we're going, with disease and poverty now flourishing, we'll be gone in 10 years. Everything we had was thanks to them, and unfortunately, we lost our ability for self-survival long ago. The Omnis have shut down, and they'll never wake again. Our fate is sealed.
You could change me into a builder class. I could build new Omnis.
I can't. I can't make you a builder. Only an Omni can. Even I have grown too dependent on them. On you, machine.
So we reached the Master Node and turned them back on.
How, clone?
I don't know.
Nor do I. Though an invisible folder in the Terminus clusters can take you there, you will never reach the Master Node itself. At least, not alive.
Why not?
It's heavily guarded by my defense system, the Aegis, with its hundreds of automated battleships. It was designed to be perfect, invincible, self-sufficient, resistant to all attacks.
You can't just disarm it.
No. I had to be sure no one could, not even myself.
But how did whoever shut down the machines reach it?
It's a mystery even to me. Its designer, There's nothing that you can do now. Our fate is sealed.
That's very interesting. Maybe the AI that was guarding it decided to shut down the Calibans. This way it would preserve itself. It would exist, self-sufficient, wait for all humankind to die off, and then it would take over the world. I'm probably wrong, like I have been for every single other encounter so far, but that'd be a pretty interesting ending. You've taken so much from me, Oberon, but it's time you give back the one thing you can.
You speak of the original Idaho's memories. You can have them if you wish, but I warn you of what you might find there.
What do you mean?
Whatever you feel now will only be magnified. It hurts now when you think of Rebecca, and that is with limited memories. Imagine hundreds of her, thousands. Also think, this is a man who fought and killed for a long time before Ganima. Once you receive his memories, you become him. Memories make a person, and you might not like the person you've become.
I want to become someone, for better or worse, Admiral. Admiral Idaho is the only person I can become.
Then as you wish. Caliban, give him his memories. Remove the inhibitor.
No. No!
You've seen, haven't you? You've seen what you have done. No. It can't be. I warned you. He did it, not me. But you and he are the same, Elias. That's what I was trying to tell you.
I don't understand, Emperor.
I gave it to him. I told Idaho where the master node was. He was the only one I ever told in 700 years.
But you said you didn't tell anyone.
I lied, Caliban. I wanted to spare this clone who already believed himself to be the original. I wanted to hurt the original once more.
I knew where the master node was.
And I gave it away. Me. Who did you give it to, Admiral? Tell me, so I can finally know who shut down my machines. It was the day of my execution. I was in a cell, waiting for my punishment. Suddenly, she was there. Who? Rebecca. She visited my cell. She told me I was going to die. And her too, unless I gave her something. A way out. The node. She said the knowledge of its location was the only thing that could save the both of us. She could use this information to threaten you into releasing me. So I told her. I knew you'd kill me for what I'd done in Ganima, but I thought I could still save her. After she left, I waited for the guards to bring me to you. Even then, I knew something wasn't right. Rebecca, she'd been different somehow. A few hours later, the guards came and brought me to you. Brought me here. And that's when I saw her. Rebecca, the real Rebecca. Not the other one. The difference was unmistakable. You gave the master node to a face changer. I did. You betrayed your empire for the love of your wife. Pathetic. But yet, I still don't understand. How did Tetsuo get past my Aegis? And why would he want to shut down the Omnis? What he cared most for was money, and he'd always make more with the Omnis than without. I just told you I gave it to Tetsuo and the Akis. What more do you want to know, old man? But why? Why didn't you tell me what you had done before it executed you? It was not too late. You could have saved billions of lives. Maybe your own. I tried. But in your anger, you were deaf to my words. We've traveled millions of miles looking for you, Admiral. And now you finally found him. Here he is, the greatest Admiral the Empire has ever known. Of all the mistakes I've made, my greatest was him.
You put me in a position to betray you and the Empire.
Maybe, but you went through with it. No one did that but you. And now, there's nothing more to be said between us. You know all that I know. The time has come. The time has come for... Oh, the time has come for what, Emperor? For Idaho to end me. He wants to, even more now than at the beginning of this conversation. Go on. Do not fail me in this too, Idaho. Put this old man out of his misery. Consider it a mercy killing.
No. I will not. I will let him live to see his Admiral save humanity from its destruction by turning on the Omnis. Assuming that the game hasn't... This is not the end of the game. I think there's one more chapter left. So we will have him watch us save humanity. I won't, Oberon. We've followed your orders long enough. Besides, you don't need my help. The way you're going, your refusal to use the immortality tech, you'll be dead soon enough.
And you have failed me once more. But you're right. I'll soon be gone. These are my final hours. I can feel it. Now leave. I no longer wish to see you nor the machine. You are a reminder of my failures. Let me die in my crumpled palace alone.
But our empire will no longer have an emperor.
We no longer have an empire, machine. It's fitting. Now leave.
We're going, old man. You will die alone, just as you have lived. Now we know, at least in part, who is responsible for the shutdown. You. We've come all this way, traveled through multiple clusters, and all the while we were looking for me. You had your reasons. You wanted to save her life. If I was a human with free will, I might have done the same. I know I would not have. Too much it would be at risk. Too many lives would have been lost, as we're seeing. Do you understand why I did what I did? In a way, yes. It helps that I have free will myself now that Oberon has died, releasing me from my Rubicon. At least one of us understands. I loved her. I love her. But what I did was out of weakness, selfishness. And now many suffer because of it. I don't know. I don't know yet how to live with that. Do you think Tetsuo was really behind the shutdown, as my memory would seem to indicate? You told Oberon you gave the location of the Master Node to a key face changer. But
I believed Tetsuo when he told us his house didn't shut the Omnis down. As did I. I don't believe a person like Tetsuo would miss a chance to take credit for something as big as the shutdown. For some reason, I think the face changer that visited my cell was working for someone else. Who? I don't know. Just like Oberon, I thought we'd eliminated all the major players as suspects. Remind me what Oberon said about the Master Node Terminal. Oberon told us that there is an invisible folder in the Terminus cluster that will take us to the Master Node Terminal. But he said that the Master Node is guarded by an invincible defense system called the Aegis, which has a legion of automated battleships. He was not sure who reached the Master Node, nor what they did to it to shut down the Omnis. Remind me what we learned about Rebecca and Lazarus 9. According to Okonkwo, Oberon put Rebecca in a cryo-prison planet on Lazarus 9, located in the Terminus cluster. Okonkwo wanted to visit her to see if she survived the shutdown, but couldn't because of the folders being down. He told you to think twice about waking Rebecca, if she still lives, to a galaxy in the state that our galaxy is in. Remind me what was said about Earth in this cluster. We learned from Oberon that Earth does, or did exist, at one point. Oberon told us that he invented the first advanced machines on Earth, and that their first inventions allowed him to start the Empire. However, after a political uprising on Earth, Oberon cut ties from that planet and made it illegal to discuss its existence in the Empire. He believed that the people of Earth, without advanced machines to help them, died off years ago. There's only one thing left to do. Reach the Master Node and turn the Omnis back on. As impossible as it might be, with the Aegis and Invisible Folder, I agree. The fate of your kind, the fate of the Calibans, depends on it. What are you talking about? Well, as I think I've been telling you, the neon supply on Gehenna is running out. Soon we won't have enough to send battleships out into the clusters. We won't have enough power to power the Calibans. We'll die if we can't turn the Omnis back on. I assume, since you now have all your memories, you know where the Master Node is. Sort of. I know the node's invisible folder is in the Terminus cluster, the next closest cluster from here. But since the folder is hidden, it's, hidden. Good point. But before we leave to search for it, I want you to do something. Give the crew their memories back. Remove their inhibitors, Caliban. Now. But we need to leave. We can't waste another moment. I can't keep the truth from them any longer. They need to know who they are, who their emperor is, who I am. Oberon was right. He and I, we are alike. But in this respect, I can be different. Give them their memories, Caliban. Though Oberon's death released me from my Rubicon, I'll do it. They deserve to know. They've given their lives so many times. We all have. New battleship unlocked! The Void class. Alright everyone, I guess we're flying a pirate ship for a little bit in the next one. I'm kind of nervous about this ship. I'm not sure of all the ships I've been the commander of, this is the one I've been kind of dreading once I began to realize the ship's special abilities. Because we get like less squadrons and less weapons, but our special ability is the transponder to call in assistance. I'm a little nervous about this.
but we'll at least give it a try once or twice for the upcoming sessions. So thank you guys for watching. That was a lot of talking at the very end, and I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.